What if you could lower your blood pressure without relying on medication? High blood pressure affects millions of people worldwide, and it increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. But the good news is, there are natural ways to manage it from the comfort of your home. From simple changes in diet to incorporating regular exercise, you can take control of your blood pressure naturally. In this video, we'll explore 7 easy, at-home methods to help lower your blood pressure and improve your overall health. Stay tuned to find out how small lifestyle changes can make a big difference in keeping your heart healthy. 1. Walk and exercise regularly. Taking a simple walk or doing regular exercise can make a big difference when it comes to lowering high blood pressure. Exercise helps your heart become stronger, which means it can pump blood more efficiently, reducing the pressure on your arteries. Even something as easy as walking can give your heart the boost it needs to work better and improve your overall health. Experts recommend getting about 150 minutes of moderate exercise per week, like walking, or 75 minutes of more intense activity, such as running. This routine can significantly lower your blood pressure and keep your heart healthy. Some studies even suggest that doing more exercise than this can lower your blood pressure even further, giving you extra health benefits. So if you want an easy way to lower your blood pressure, start with a 30-minute walk each day. It's a small change that can have a big impact on your heart and blood pressure. Plus, the more exercise you do, the better your results will be. 2. Reduce your sodium intake. We all know that salt is a common ingredient in many foods, but too much of it can be harmful, especially when it comes to your blood pressure. Eating a lot of processed and prepared foods can lead to high sodium intake, which has been linked to high blood pressure and even heart problems like stroke. While some people are more sensitive to salt than others, reducing your sodium intake is a smart move if you're trying to lower your blood pressure. If you already have high blood pressure, cutting back on salt could make a noticeable difference. Start by swapping processed foods for fresh ingredients, and instead of reaching for the salt shaker, try seasoning your meals with herbs and spices. Not only will this reduce your sodium intake, but it can also make your meals more flavorful in a healthier way. Most health guidelines recommend lowering your sodium intake to keep your blood pressure in check, especially if you're sensitive to salt. It's a simple change that can help protect your heart and improve your overall health. 3. Drink less alcohol. Many of us enjoy a drink now and then, but it's important to remember that alcohol can have a direct impact on your blood pressure. Drinking too much can raise your blood pressure and increase the risk of long-term health problems like heart disease and high blood pressure. Even though some studies suggest that moderate drinking might offer some heart benefits, these can easily be outweighed by the negative effects, especially if you overindulge. In the US, moderate alcohol consumption means no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 drinks per day for men. If you find yourself drinking more than that, it might be time to think about cutting back. Reducing your alcohol intake could help keep your blood pressure under control and protect your overall health. The bottom line is that alcohol, even in small amounts, can affect your blood pressure. By drinking less, you can lower your risk of high blood pressure and improve your heart health in the long run. It's a simple step that can make a big difference. 4. Eat more potassium-rich foods. Most people know that cutting back on salt is good for blood pressure, but boosting your potassium intake is just as important. Potassium is a key mineral that helps balance out the sodium in your body by helping you flush it out, which in turn reduces pressure on your blood vessels. Unfortunately, modern diets tend to be high in sodium and low in potassium, making it essential to focus on foods that are rich in this beneficial mineral. The good news is that there are plenty of delicious potassium-packed options. Fresh fruits like bananas, melons, and avocados, along with vegetables like tomatoes, potatoes, and leafy greens, are all great sources. You'll also find potassium in dairy products, fish like tuna and salmon, and even in nuts, seeds, and beans. By eating more of these foods, you can naturally lower your blood pressure and support your heart health. Incorporating more potassium-rich foods into your meals is a simple and effective way to help manage blood pressure. Swapping out processed foods for fresh options can make a big difference in achieving that healthy balance between sodium and potassium. 5. Cut back on caffeine. If you've ever had a cup of coffee before getting your blood pressure checked, you might have noticed an immediate rise. Caffeine can cause a short-term spike in blood pressure, but for most people, it doesn't lead to a long-term increase. In fact, studies show that people who drink caffeinated beverages like coffee or tea regularly may actually have a lower risk of heart disease and high blood pressure than those who don't. That being said, everyone's body reacts differently to caffeine. If you feel jittery or notice your blood pressure rises after having a caffeinated drink, it might be worth cutting back to see if it helps. Reducing your caffeine intake, especially if you're sensitive to it, could prevent those temporary spikes in blood pressure. In the end, caffeine affects people in different ways, and it's important to pay attention to how your body responds. If you're trying to lower your blood pressure, experimenting with less caffeine might be a good option for you. 6. Learn to manage stress. Stress is something we all deal with, but when it becomes chronic, it can have a big impact on your blood pressure. When you're stressed, your body stays in fight or flight mode, which causes your heart rate to speed up and your blood vessels to tighten. Over time, this can lead to consistently higher blood pressure. On top of that, stress can push you toward unhealthy habits like drinking more alcohol or eating processed foods, both of which can make blood pressure worse. That's why learning to manage stress is so important for keeping your blood pressure in check. There are simple ways to reduce stress that can make a real difference. Listening to calming music, for example, can help soothe your nervous system and complement other efforts to lower blood pressure. Also, cutting back on long work hours and stressful situations can give your mind and body a much-needed break. By finding ways to relax and manage your stress, you can help protect your heart and lower your blood pressure naturally. 7. Eat dark chocolate or cocoa. If you're a fan of chocolate, here's some good news. Small amounts of dark chocolate can actually benefit your heart. Dark chocolate and cocoa powder are packed with flavonoids, which are plant compounds that help your blood vessels relax and widen. This makes it easier for blood to flow, which can reduce blood pressure. A review from 2017 found that flavonoid-rich cocoa can help lower blood pressure, at least in the short term, for healthy adults. While this doesn't mean you should eat large amounts of chocolate every day, enjoying a small piece of dark chocolate or using non-alkalized cocoa powder is a tasty way to support your heart. For the best results, go for dark chocolate with minimal added sugars and non-alkalized cocoa powder, which keeps the flavonoid content high. So, next time you're craving a sweet treat, a little dark chocolate might not only satisfy your taste buds, but also help keep your blood pressure in check. Now that you know some natural ways to lower your blood pressure, it's time to start incorporating these simple changes into your daily routine. Whether it's a walk, eating potassium-rich foods, or managing stress, these tips can make a big difference. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to Earthluxe for more health and wellness content. Hit the notification bell so you never miss out on our latest tips and tricks.